Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So if you've been magnetized by the thumbnail or maybe even the title, chances are there's going to be a message in here for you. But with a little bit of a pre-shuffle, I do have the Queen of Pentacles along with the Three of Wands. You are in this really lovely position to start opening up a brand new opportunity. And it feels like you've had to hold back. And I think some of you may have felt guilty about having to hold back, withdraw yourself. And it's only because you've had to do it all in the name of self love and self care. So if this sounds like your situation, you are more than welcome to stick around. If we haven't met yet, my name is High Priestess Berries, psychic, medium, and divine channeler, hoping to bring you a message. Now, always remember, my messages are candid, unscripted, but they're also timeless. So please tap into your instincts. Listen to your intuition. If there's anything that I talk about that doesn't make any sense, totally fine. Do not worry about it. This message may not be for you, but if it does resonate, please let me know by sharing your experiences in the comments below. Something's finally coming to an end, especially if you've had a historical pattern of pursuing relationships with people who are just not ready to meet you on your level. The Eight of Wands and the Ten of Crystals. I feel like something in your life is quickly going to start coming to an end. If it hasn't ended, this is coming to an end. We do have Temperance, the Tower. Woof. Holy divine intervention, Batman. Ten of Wands, the Chariot, along with the Four of Cups. I'm actually kind of curious about what's going on with Temperance, mostly because it has a lot to do with this particular Ten of Wands. Like, you've been balancing so many external energies that don't belong to you. I see two cups right here with Temperance. And, if you were peeking at the camera while I was doing my welcoming spiel, there was a Page of Cups with a Nine of Wands. It's just powering through, trying to be there for somebody, someone who's just not on your maturity level. Because I get the sense that whoever it is that or whatever it is that you're closing out is no longer overcompensating for their emotions and making it feel like it's your responsibility to bear the burden for them. Knight of Stars. I've been getting this off and on Knight of Pentacle energy and a lot of the masculine energies. Now, this could be a divine counterpart masculine. This could be you learning how to balance your own inner masculinity because masculines, they need to prove themselves and they want to feel useful. They want to, they find their satisfaction knowing that their help is wanted, that they can make a difference within the world. And I really feel like, regardless if you identify as a divine feminine or not, your masculine energy has been quite wounded. And that's why you've been over giving to something that won't give back to you. Nine of Cups. Got the Page of Wands. I really feel like there's a brand new beginning, mostly because these past energies that you overwhelmed yourself with, there was something valuable. Let's just go check out this Ten of Wands. I really feel like the Tower. Oh, we'll get to this. Oh, we will definitely get to this Tower. I don't think this is your energy. We need to talk about you for a second, mostly because we need to have some contrast on where it is that you have been coming from. Because this is a chapter that's closing out of your life. Yeah, Five of Wands. Just one too many people having an opinion about things. This can be a little bit gossipy as well, but also just over dedicating the multiple versions of yourself. It's as though you tried to clone yourself so that you had enough energy to help carry the burdens of this person, of this situation. And this could be just a habit. This doesn't have to be one individual. This could be multiple people that you've had just a subconscious habit of overcompensating just because you're trying to be nice, you're trying to be there. You have a spiritual gift. And because you didn't know any better, it was mismanaged. But this is changing. Why? Because you now absolutely know better. Yeah. Seven of Wands. Standing up for yourself, actually having way better boundaries. And I love that with these Six of Wands right here, there are energies finally bowing down to you. In the past, I think you gave this person, this situation, way too much power over you, especially if they were a parent or maybe like no judgment. If you had an idea, like say if you were female identifying, but you still had this mentality that men are the head of household or men should have the authority to make the decisions, this could be like an intergenerational gender bias. So take it as it resonates. But there's something about you carried all the burdens, yet you put the person on a pedestal. And I really feel like that's finally coming to an end. There we go. Three of Wands. I'm just kind of curious. There's that Queen of Stars. Like these two kept showing up even in the pre-shuffle before I started the camera. And I actually had to restart this channeling. It just didn't feel right the way I was doing the intro. And this came back again. This is a reoccurring theme. And I feel like something's flipping so that you feel good that you're a very generous, nurturing, caring individual, but you don't need to do it with everybody. There's something about needing to feel a lot better about people earning your energy, earning your attention, because so many people have not valued all the hard work you're putting in. They took this for granted. You're a very powerful person. You've gotten a lot stronger as a result of this habit, but you lacked your own sense of value and purpose. But this is shifting. So tell me more. Because, like, we got the Queen of Stars and then we have the Chariot. And while this deck is very focused on feminine energy, I'm almost seeing the Queen of Stars driving the Chariot. Typically, it's usually the Emperor, but because I think I was saying a little bit earlier, this could be your own masculine energy finally getting activated so that you can finally balance out your shadow aspect and the light aspect. Because when we give ourselves over to toxic energies because we feel bad for them, it means that we have a wound within our shadow that hasn't been addressed quite yet. And it's a trauma bond. Like, quite simply, it's a trauma bond. You know, there's a weird equation my guides were trying to show me when you have two people in a relationship. And the challenge is that if you have both parties, person A and person B, if they hate themselves, but they love the other person, they're magnetized by the same interests. I hate me, but I love you. So long as I love you and you love me, I can ignore the fact that I hate myself. And that sort of trauma bond you've been able to start breaking free from, because whoever this person is that you're walking away from, they haven't learned the lesson and they need to glom onto somebody else. They need to start a new karmic soul contract with somebody on that level. And I'm just hearing your guide saying, like, you're moving away from this. This is not for you to deal with anymore. But again, it's important that you move forward without feeling guilty about it. And I hear some of you's like, I don't feel guilty about it. I'm sorry. There's something in here, whether this is a specific person or a general habit, there's something in here that needs to be self-forgiven. Like, as much as you are okay with walking away from this frequency and never speaking to it ever again, your guides are still warning you. There's still something about your shadow that does need to be addressed so that you don't accidentally manifest this problem ever again. The person's not the issue. It's the energy. It's how you feel about yourself and how you feel about other people. If that is not resolved, guess what? This Chariot will accidentally loop back around and have the exact same effect and put you back into this Four of Cups. But there we go. The universe is trying to give you a chance to start looking at something about yourself, your shadow aspects, so you can finally end this bloody cycle. Like, I don't know, I'm saying it that way. It's not the way I usually talk, especially with the Knight of Cups. When somebody just whooshes in and rescues you, you've been overburdened. But some of you are still at risk of having a different Knight of Cups come by and say, I'll take the burden for you. And you're like, oh, thank God. But you never really learned why you put yourself into the burden in the first place. Then you give it to this person and they get overwhelmed and they resent you because you're not taking your burdens back. And then it manifests as, well, you said you were going to take the burden away. I said, no, I was going to sort of help you, but I didn't really agree to that. Like, there's there's some bullshit nonsense that within your soul that does need to be sorted out before you can start magnetizing healthier love and healthier soulmate relationships. There we go. I'm sorry. The devil has to call it out. There is an attachment issue that the universe is trying so hard to get your attention on because you have new love incoming. We keep seeing this incoming soulmate, but it's not just one person, not the one that is meant for you. Soulmates are our friends, our soul tribes, people to help us work out our karma with. And ideally, they're a higher vibration every single time, but it still doesn't mean that the karma doesn't exist. That still needs to be worked out. You just ideally find people that are easier and safer to work out the karma with. But the universe wants you to know if you don't deal with this now, you are going through the tower. So tell me about this tower energy. Like, because I feel like this is what you're trying to bring in a sense of personal fulfillment and just having fun, just going with the flow, enjoying the life that you have chosen. Because if you aren't acknowledging what's happening right here, I have to harp on this. I really need to harp on this. There's a flaw in your spiritual logic that your guides want to help just transmute, remove, release you from. What do we have? Eight of Wands, Ace of Crystals. This is a Ace of Swords. Like there's a lot of clarity that will be coming in. The tower is going to be happening regardless, but it's one of these things. Would you like an internal power? Cute. Internal tower where you have the divine epiphany and go, oh, oh, that's what Barry's was talking about. That's what my guides have been talking about. And then you can just change and you don't magnetize a frustrating relationship all over again. Or you repeat the loop and then you have to unearth your entire physical foundation. Eight of Cups, walking onto your own happiness, which leads up to the 9, Three of Cups. There is, tell me about this Three of Cups. Yeah, I feel like there's a friendship, a relationship, a circle of friends. This could be, you know, your party buddies for all I know, but tell me about this Three of Cups before I really jump in. Nine of Crystals. Oh God. Okay. Okay. Flower of Life. I like that. Um, this is the card of the artist in this particular deck. This tarot deck has 2 extra major arcana cards. The Flower of Life comes after the World. So you have the World, and then you have the card of Self, which is about self-reflection, which leads to the Flower of Life, being able to manifest a brand new gateway. And sort of like you can either manifest a new gateway in the 3D, or you can manifest a new gate through the 5D. It's sort of like dealer's choice. Potato, potato. All roads lead to Rome. But with this Three of Cups, the way that you interact with people who are always self-defeatist, always have a problem. They're not taking care of themselves. You actually do still have attention seekers, or you're prone to attention-seeking energy. This could just be you're standing at the grocery store lineup and the person beside you, because you're such a juicy magnetic energy, they just dump all their problems onto you, and they're not even really expecting any kind of healing. They just want validation. You know, they want to whine, bitch, and complain about how slow the line is. And you're like, yeah, line is totally slow. Oh my God, what do you want from me? That's what this energy is. There's something about being very neutral. I mean, super neutral when you come across people like this. Because you can't control other people and you can't always control the energy. And as a divine feminine being, being in your feminine polarity, that makes you attractive, but it makes you attractive to both savory and unsavory energy all the time. But there's something about you making a more conscious choice about what energies you wish to receive. Because if somebody just wants to capture your attention just to whine, bitch, moan, and complain, like, how does that benefit yourself and how does that benefit them? Learning how to have healthier boundaries and looking for opportunity can sometimes be as simple as distracting the energy. asking them about their day, maybe not even talking to them. If the person's being rude and you're worried about being rude back, that's not your energy. A lot of you guys are going to be going through some psychic awakenings, and your abilities are going to become more online. So pay attention to when you get notions and premonitions, and then you encounter those people in the 3D. It could be within, a few minutes to a couple of weeks. Kind of depends on the intensity of the energy. But the universe will show you, hey, I'm giving you a warning to let you know you will be encountering this energy. This is something within your orbit, and then you will encounter it. And at least by that point, you've subconsciously digested a few things, because the flower of life could mean a million different things depending on how you stare at it. Are you seeing circles? Are you seeing petals? Are you seeing stars? Are you seeing the whole? Are you seeing the individual? You are subconsciously working on some stuff. So a little bit of this is going to be automated, but this is your clue from the universe, because people are going to have their problems, but it doesn't mean you need to feed it or entertain it. Tell me about this Four of Cups. We talked about avoiding this energy. So how can we transmute it to make it the most potent in favor of whoever is watching? Because the Four of Cups, another interpretation of this card is that when people start offering you their emotions, you don't need to take it. We got the Three of Cups right here and the Three of Cups right here. And it's sort of like someone wants to jump in and throw their problems at you. And it's like, okay, good for you. Yeah, that sucks. But you're not feeding your emotional energy or integrity into it. This is getting out of a habit of eight of crystals, of being susceptible to siphoning and vampire energy. What do we have at the top right here? Yeah, Page of Stars. Lots of page energy today. Yeah, Page of Wands, Page of Stars. We did see that Page of Cups a little bit earlier. Knight of Wands. Yeah, this is having a fresh perspective, a creative way of giving yourself permission to have boundaries with people, again, who just want to push their problems onto you. Like, I have this issue all of the time, and I have to be very, very cautious, because a lot of people find my energy very healing. And I've noticed throughout the years, if people approach me with their problems, I can say all kinds of things to make them feel better, but they're not really listening to the wisdom. There's like, okay, good, I feel better. I had my binky. It's a childhood. It really is a childhood wound. It's basically they're treating you like their mom, and then you wonder why they have mother issues. It's sort of like even their own moms are like, dude, can you get a life? That was fun for me. Thank you. Yeah, Queen of Wands. Queen of Stars. Wow. Oh, how do I read this? I feel good. Overall, I feel very good. In some ways, this Queen of Wands feels a little bit menacing. She's got warrior paint underneath her eyes. And there's something about your rejection is hot. Oh my God. Because you're getting so much better at thinking about how it is you want to move forward. It's like, I love you more than anything in the universe. Like, good for you. So get your shit together and then we can talk. What? That's kind of how I'm seeing these characters on the deck. Like, you're really getting better at learning your value. And it's sort of like, if you're going to carry 10 wands of burden, that's great. But what's that worth to you? Because if you're not good at negotiating energetic exchange, you're not going to be ready to receive your abundance. And it makes it a lot more difficult for you to rise in to your feminine energy. The Queen of Wands can be lively, empathic, the life of the party, but she can also be a deep fake. She could also be a pretender, sort of like, I know I'm having a tough time, but let's just keep partying on. Whee! Like that is sometimes how the Queen of Wands can behave in her distorted aspect. There's, at the end of the day, don't focus so much on external people. With the Devil right here, this is about you and understanding how you have subconsciously bound yourself to other people, all in the name of being polite, being nice, worried that you're not doing enough. All you've been doing is picking up other people's insecurities, and you accidentally made it your own. to make the most of whatever it is that the universe is trying to show you at this time, just focus on yourself. Understand your shadow aspects. So let's wrap this up, but let's get one final message. What energetic frequency can the viewer embody so that this deviled energy can be properly canceled out and welcome in a healthy balance of light, shadow, masculine, and feminine? Oh, I'm being told I gotta let's cut down to the bone on what this issue truly is. Crystal capacitor, storage, time release, focused force. Oh, and there's another one right here. Prism of existence, separation, extension, independence, identity. Trust the series of unfortunate events, even if you do encounter people who do temporarily try to glom onto your energy. Every single time you interact with these individuals is just the universe trying to train you, trying to teach your energetic frequency to withdraw itself and feel more empowered. Feminine energy feels more empowered when she draws her energy close to self. Take gender as it resonates. But you are being gifted light codes, opportunities, shifts within your frequency. Store it away. It will become useful. It requires you to be more comfortable detaching from other people and recognizing that when thoughts come up to the surface, it's not always a projection. This is your psychic gifts being activated and realizing how all of us are the same and all of us are different. So just honor your masculinity and your femininity. You will be able to find the balance and you'll be able to make the most of your spiritual gifts. I'm just saying, wow. Well, whoever it is that you guys are, damn, I sincerely hope that this helped. If you need any further guidance, especially if you need any sort of energetic healing, I do recommend that you book a private session with me. You can find those details in the description below. Otherwise, like, follow if you'd like some more support on the situation. Otherwise, when I see you at the next one, I'm wishing you peace, love, and all the berries.